Hi guys, I thought let's have a look at our project. Oh, let's see if it comes out from the search. AA5, building the AA ISO. That's exactly what I've done just now. The ArcoLinux ISO contains 40 ways, well, the ArcoLinux project contains 40 ways to install Arch. 40 ways, right? And this way is number 40. The latest way of what if, right? The latest what if I had was let's get ArcoLinux, build it, and put Alice, the project Alice, on there. An unattended, automated, pre-configured way of installing everything, and everything is just down here documented for you. It's quite easy. It's actually a simplistic, a simple way of saying, well, it's never simplistic, it's always look and learn and all that, but create your own GitHub, choose the code from Alice, change it any way you see fit. This is from us saying build ArcoLinux with Alice. That's all it is. It's ArcoLinux of today, the 13th of February, with two folders on there. Which two folders? Folder Alice and a folder Alice dev. This is development, so we play around in settings and see what we can do. And this one is the official coming from Pico. So I've just made a comparison between these two guys. I've built the ISO, like I've shown you in the videos. And these are my changes, right? Pico to the right, me to the left. I want to have a log. I want to have bash completion, nano, melt, Firefox, not simple serial recorder. So an exclamation mark means no, don't install. We do want to have AOR because I want to have INC afterwards. I want to have Parubin as well. I want to have Sublime Text 4. So packages from the AOR are no problem whatsoever. There's even a recovery file for it, so everything is okay. Just telling him I'm not living in Spain. I don't want to have the keys from Spain keyboard. I want to have a Belgian keyboard, and as well, file system, I want to have Btrfs since I've been playing around with these settings. But you can change your Btrfs settings, and that's what I've been doing here. Btrfs subvolumes, root, home, the root F, because it has twice the same name. This is the slash, the root, and this is the folder root. So hence the root folder and the root F as name. I got these subvolumes from ArcoLinux or ArcoLinuxD.com or ArcoLinux way of making everything in, well, splitting everything up in subvolumes. So I did something new to it rather than sticking to the ones provided by Pico. I took a look at what we have in ArcoLinux, what we have in ArcoLinux, and say, let's go for this one. So an extra line, and then yeah, sure, I'm not living in Spain, so Reflector is going to look in Sweden, so I hope to receive Osbeck or something similar. So all the settings are made here by choice. And that's the dev version. At this point in time, dev and the other one are different, right? So these two guys are the latest code of today, and these two guys, the other guys is, I don't know, quite old. Let's see how old. Open with Git ahead. Last time I pushed anything there was 25th of January. So if this works, this is the dev of today works, what I'm gonna do is do a compare. And it is by comparison that we learn, it is with melt that we learn, because here we have all kinds of images. It's not important, but configs, lots of configs that are available here, and Packer is a new folder, etc, etc, right? But does it work? Does it give me what I need to have? Let's go to virtual. I've been playing around these days with VMware, so let's keep let's make videos in VMware. Home, create, open, create a new virtual machine. Typical, sure. The ISO is gonna be, and so I make my own ISOs, right? AA out, is the ArcoLinux ISO, not of these dates, but of today. The ArcoLinux ISO of today. Open. Next. Okay, next. AA. Location. Put it in VMware, would be nice. AA is there already. That's okay, AA BIOS. So it's different because of the name. Next. 30. Next. Customize hardware. I have 32 gigs to give, so 8 is not much indeed. 116 core, so 8 will do. And that's about it. I think that's what I would like to set. Finish. We could go back in there. And where was it again? In options, advanced, decide to have a UEFI or BIOS. Last time I did the UEFI, so today I'll do a BIOS. Start up. And then we get this. And let me check if what I did wrong there. Power off. Power off, please. Let's see what the ISO is. Downloads, aha, okay. So not the downloads folder, but the AA folder. AA out, where are you? AA out, this is the one I want. Open. Oh, sorry, I see where I am. It's this guy. I want to open a virtual box machine. This one, that one. Is that it? Yes, that's the AA out. Save. Start up this guest. All right, that's the good logo, right? Then we click inside on the design, so we are in the virtual machine, and then we click enter. And that's super simple actually. So you are as close as you can be to an ArcoLinux ISO, because it is the ArcoLinux ISO, but the one we built ourselves, not the one downloaded. That's the difference. And if we go and have a look, well, let's first get this out of the way, because that is always my issue and will remain so. So now I have Azerty CD, and we can go to Alice. We have an Alice. So when I do CD and then ls, we have two folders that are not on an official ArcoLinux ISO, Alice and Alice Dev. So when I go to Alice Dev, because that's the one I want to test, Alice Dev, then you get this. You run the start, because only the start is green, and all the other guys need to become green as well. So yes, I'm gonna get the code from GitHub. Not that anything changed, but do that. And then if I say no already, and I do ls, you know, all the shell files, all the scripts are now executable, all green. So let's start it again. Start sh, sure. Do you want to continue? And that's the fun of this Alice project. There are no questions asked during the installation, and I can go for supper now and come back and have an ArcoLinux system. This is just automated. It needs parameters. You fill in the parameters. What's your name? Eric. What's your password? Eric. It will create a password, a user, and all that. Now it's creating, it's installing Reflector, and then it's going to look who's the fastest server in Sweden. I've told him to go and have a look at Sweden. So maybe it's Uzbek. I don't know who won, but here he is already installing ArcoLinux keyring as a second package, which is one of the most important packages in Arch. The keys, right? Back my mirror list is there. And it's also a good way to learn about the essential packages. Now you see all the names that are essential to this operating system. So let them go by, let them fly by, and no need to try and read them all. But after an installation or 2000, you'll know what packages are important for your system. This is XFC and Xorg, bunch of files, and with it you have got a desktop. What is this? Nano, Melt, Firefox, choices, right? It's always about that, choices. Rubin is going to be installed. So, yes, AOR. AOR is now being installed. Sublime text coming from AOR. Building, installing. INC, AOR, building, installing. Voila, done. We've built in, I don't know how many minutes, we'll see it in the log. It just was a bit too quick to read. But not much time has passed. I am recording for 11 minutes. And you got yourself an ArcoLinux system. Pure Arch. LightYAM is activated. And there you go. So your system, and that's why we're making the video. Let's first have a nice display. 1920 by 1080. Apply. Keep this configuration, make this full screen. Voila. How about Btrf? Btrf is not installed. Never told him to install it. Btrf. Btrf shows me, that I've installed ext4. That was not the idea. The idea was to install Btrfs. Right? So, whatever he did, it went wrong. This was not my idea at all. My idea to have Btrfs, unless I've made a mistake. Unless it's all me. Now there is a log file, file system, var, log, and there is ls, the ls log. Can't open this. Let's first get sudo backbone -s. Sublime text must be there, right? We have installed it. Just thinking about that. Sublime text. All right, let's become root. Let's become let's do sudo sublime text, and let's drop that in. Wow, drop that in. That's one thing, and that's another thing. Two things I want to read. And colorize. Thank you very much, Pearl. So, oops. I forgot to tell him to go to this one, that one, and he never saw the line because I never told him to use Btrfs. So it's my mistake altogether. But nevertheless, interesting as a video. Close without saving. Time. I'll do it all over again because it's just that, right? Just a few changes. Well, you reinstall again and check it out. So all of these things you can see if everything is okay. Here's the time. Just want to have a look at how long did we actually, till somewhere here we could see it. Installation start. can't really read how many minutes we've actually used to install it, because that can't be possible. So better ask Pico what's the correct time. There is a date here. It's never possible that this is the time in hours and minutes. To be investigated. Anyway, I'll show you the fun of this thing is that if you go back to big screen here, go back to your folder, not that one, but this one. That's the machine, this one. Okay, then we're taking you one. If you go back to your system, to Alice Dev, you forgot something. So you go back in here, alice.conf, make it bigger. What did I forget? I forgot to tell the system, hey, like this, no X4, Btrfs. Then it's gonna take a look at these lines, 37. Okay. And never ask swap size, partition automatically, partition mode, custom. I'm gonna keep automatic because I believe this could be automatic. Save. And now it's on my system, and that's the fun. It's on my system, but then you push it to the internet. Btrfs as choice. Voila. It's on there, it's online. This can be closed. This was that, that was this, so this must be, voila. And we reboot. We go again to shut down, I guess. And to restart, the question is, will it restart with my... No, it will not. I have to tell him to go and start with my CD-ROM, my DVD. So edit virtual machine, this guy, connected power, user, boot. I need to let him understand that I boot up with the other machine. I could change UEFI. I believe that already triggers the same thing. Let's see if I'm correct. Yes, it does. So switching now from BIOS to UEFI, just to simply quickly boot up. Back from ArcoLinux ISO, but the ArcoLinux ISO is a moment in time. It's fixed, but not the folders Alice and Alice Dev. You make your own 2 folders called Alice Dev or something else. And then let me first get me my keys. And I can make hundreds of installations like these until I have found the settings that I say, this is what I want. This is what I need. Alice Dev. Right? But with the start command, I'm gonna first get everything from the internet. So my change, whoop, it's there. alice.conf to a green plus and a red minus. It's there, my change is there. And off it goes. Installing again, I can walk away again. Until you have a system that you say, all parameters have been met, all things that I want have been put in there. And you can also change it on the fly. If you say, I want to have a view added on the fly, so I'm stopping everything for now. And then ls nano, well, probably sudo nano. Nah, I think we are already root at this point in time. Nano, if you want to change here something, sure, right? Be my guest. So let's quickly check here. Number 36, exclamation mark, Btrfs, done. So change something, save it, and run it. Simple as that. But don't do start, because start overwrites everything. You're going to get the new code. If you want to launch the changes you just made, then you just launch alice.sh. Yeah, it was probably me. So I've just stopped everything, and these partitions are already mounted. So the best thing to do for us is now to just reboot. And if there are things that are not working, that you say, oh, wouldn't it be nice, because people, right, creative minds, wouldn't it be nice if this script, ls script, does this or that? Go to github.com and ask Pico, because he's very, very helpful. And if you have good ideas, then the project can move forward. Simple as that. Load keys be Latin 1. 1 is there. ct ls dev. Always glad I'm back on Azerty. ls, right, and then start. That's all you need to remember. Oops, with an sh. And then everything is installed. Comes from the internet. The small change I've made can be hundreds of changes. It will all get them, and just in this case is switch between X4 and Btrfs. A choice, like there are so many choices. And then you end up with a system. Do you see Linux firmware whens in the middle? So that's today's idea for ArcoLinux. Linux firmware and Linux firmware whens is what I put on their systems. The other Linux firmware packages are not there, and that's why we have all these warnings, possibly missing firmware. You see in the middle, that's why we have all these choices, this time from ArcoLinux. We're back at the AUR bit. Paru, Inksy, Sublime Text. If you say I want to install 200 of them, fine. Just add them to the list. It will be built, or maybe a better thing to do is after you're in a graphical environment, then you run your script to install more AUR stuff. Et voila, finished already. I think I saw the time up there, 2 minutes something. Can always check. But there we go. I've used systemd. Let's make this nicer. And then applications. Well, you've seen me do this, the display already. What if I show you and see if it's installed? Since we're on VMware, is this installed? It is installed. Is this enabled? Oh, enable VM tools D. Seems to be enabled. Okay, and maybe it's just a matter of making this bigger, making this smaller. No, not kicking in. Then we do it the old-fashioned way, the display. VirtualBox up right away. Keep this configuration. Fine. Do we have Btrfs? Sudo pacman -s dov. Oh, cool. Right. Now let's check. We have /Btrfs. Boot is our SDA1, and that's EFI. Home, yes. Root, yes. Server, yes. Var cache, var log, var temp. I'm wondering, what did I do? So I did not create a /temp. There is one here as a temporary file system. It's not there. Is that correct? We have to check it out. Always check yourself. Check the code. Was it number 3? Nope. Number 3 is not it. Was it number 2? Nope. Number 1? Nope. Then it was nowhere. So AA lsdev ls.conf, where are you? And then superf. What I've decided to make is root home, root file system, server cache, log, temp, var temp, swap. Okay, I did create something called swap because of the examples given here, but never for the temp folder. But I should see something about the swap file. So let's have a look. I don't see anything about swap here. Then sudo Btrfs subvolumes list. Subvolume list. I got this. Let's take a look at the graphical application. Don't see the swap element. So I guess that's a question for Pico, right? I don't think there is one, and there's one thing I could check more. That's the file system root, etc, and then fs tab. Says to me that no SDA3 label ESP. That's the A, that's the 1, that's 2. So I created an SDA1, which is FAT32, which is then EFI. All the rest are SDA2s. There is no SDA3 as such physically installed. Okay. All right. So it's a 2-partition hard disk. So why if we say file system var log ls log, can't open this here. Let's see if we have the extra settings. Sublime text is more development. Sublime text. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, right? Can't do that. So making it a little bit bigger. Let's make it all the way big. So control find swap. What did I tell him to do? Mount root from swap, create volume root, home swap az. What did I tell it to do? That's this. That's not my line. 37 is my line. But I do see some differences. I think this is a typo. There is no ampersand here. And there is one here. So this is never created. Well, that's the line, my line, line 37. Is there a reason for that? Partition mode is auto. But auto is great because auto creates my elements. All of these are never mentioned in the others. The normal line would be, I guess, this one, root, home, var, snapshots. And nowhere is snapshots to be seen. Swap size is not there. That might be the reason, right? If we say give me a swap but then don't give me a size, right, that might be an issue. So let's reboot. And no, let's reboot into the firmware interface. That's also a good idea. And then go for the virtual. Let me try that again to show you that's possible as well. Reboot in the firmware interface, and then probably this one. Yeah, that's the ArcoLinux ISO, right? This is booting again from the ArcoLinux ISO. So again, navigate like that as well to start over again, basically. That's the third installation in the same video. This time around, I'm gonna tell him, make the swap. Well, last time I've pushed it to the internet. That's actually the best way to do it, because then you keep track of your changes. So let's stick to what should be done, right? But because I can do it also on the fly in the system cell itself, but let's do it the way it should be done. So this time I'm gonna change this line, save, that's all I'm gonna change, and then push to the internet that I've changed the swap file. Swap file size is now on. It now knows how big the swap should be. Okay, you can go. It was on 1, no, on 2, no, on 3, no, on 4. Back to LSDev. I'm in there, starting everything, downloading everything from the internet. So 2 changes now, and then yes, continue, and off we go. That's the fun, right? This change, that. How will it react? Will it be okay? Here is the swap. You see what's happening there? 6.5, 6.9, 7.2 gigabytes. I wanted 8. Boom. It's there. The swap file is there. Now, is Btrfs taking into account that it's there? That's still the next option, right? But we've seen the creation of the swap file. I think that was a swap file. We'll surely see it if it's a partition or a file pretty soon. 99% says, yep, that's the file. Let's give a challenge to ourselves. Let's see if we can find how fast an operating system is installed. Depends on your machine, how many cores, download speed, installation speed, SSD, hard disk, memory. It all matters. And this is virtual machine, so, well, VMware. Meaning, it's always gonna be slower than on real metal. There is the time. Where's the time? 2 minutes and 37 seconds. That's how long it took to install again Btrfs, this time with this, hopefully with a swap. I'll see. And you test. Doesn't cost you a penny. Penny. Any penny. Money penny and any penny. Voila. We're back here. We can see immediately the swap file. It should be here. No, not there. There is no swap file here. Where is everything? Let's have a look. So Duff to start off. Let's kick off with Duff. Boot, home, root, so swap is there. Oh my god, right? Swap is there. It's gonna take always the same size. But swap is there. Does that mean that Btrfs, for example, there are other tools, will put it in there? He will put it in there. And it does say 8 gigabyte. So that's the size we told it to be. It's not used at this point in time. It's blank. So that was what I was missing. An extra line there. For the rest, I'm wondering something. Systemctl status of this guy. It's active. It's active. What was the trick again? I thought it was Ctrl-Alt-Enter, and indeed it is. Switching between them. But yeah, it is what it is. These machines, what used to work, does not mean that it's whoa, that's the wrong one, that it will keep working. Display, Eric. 1080. Apply. Keep this configuration. Stop it. And we can do a Control-Alt-Enter. Et voila. Having all the screen. Anything else I should check? So we do have swap. It is used. It's available. Inksy, I've installed that one as well. Inksy is running. That's working just fine. Melt was there, Sublime Text, we've seen it already. So the complete installation is there. I do have sound. So that's working as well. Okay. And for the rest, I wonder if Power Control, voila, that was that. So it's the same thing. Just looks a bit odd. That's all design, right? Theming and icons and all these things that are on my dashboard. I don't like things being on my dashboard. I advised against things on my best desktop. It is messing up my look. Off it goes. That's gone. And for the rest, it's just an operating system that you can rise, that you can change. Not much is installed. Firefox is there already. Who needs a burner of CD-ROMs? I don't. I think the last 5 years I never bought any DVD reader, writer or Blu-ray thing ever. But yeah, depending on your job or your hobbies, you may want to have it. Voila, I've tested everything. Everything works. It all depends on the things that you want to apply. Last test, 42 minutes already, so that's enough. That's long enough for sure. But things like time shift and snapper are probably gonna be on the next things to do, because, well, not for me, but I mean, if you are choosing Btrfs, then it's because you like rolling back in time, and if something goes wrong, that you just go back to a week before or a day before or 5 minutes again, and because of an update you have an application that breaks, and that's a very essential package for you, and then you roll back. That's why Btrfs is interesting, rather than downgrading the package on ext4 or f2fs or RIFS or fs or JFS or so many more other file systems. No, there is really nothing to be tested. Everything works fine. The only thing we could do is keep on installing things and installing more and more and more to see that this swap is actually used, like 1% or something. But I'm pretty sure if it's here, it will be there. Ah, yeah, the file system. Let's end there. That's true, right? The file system. File should be different. etc fstab. This should be different. Let's have a look. Swap. Swap file. Check. 100%, not 99% sure, but 100% sure that it's a swap file. Ooh, we got 2 of them. I'm not sure if that's required. I'll ask Pico about that one. Now we have 2 of them. And he's put it somewhere else. He's put it in swap. That's strange. So it's inside here, the swap file. I wonder. I'll confer with Pico if this is okay. I'll put the video online. We'll talk about it. All right. Cheers.